Alright, imagine this. It's a Sunday in Las Vegas, June 8th, 2014. You're at Sisai's Pizza with your kids, maybe smashing that all you can eat buffet. Suddenly, bam, you're about to witness the dumbest revolution kickoff in United States history. Meet Jerad Miller, 31. White guy, scruffy wannabe outlaw. Think of someone who looks like he's still ranting on MySpace about government conspiracies. And his wife Amanda, 22, she's like the sidekick who thinks this is Bonnie and Clyde reloaded. Spoiler alert, it's not. So inside Sisai's Pizza that day are officers Alyn Beck, 41, and Igor Soldo, 31. Two normal dudes just grabbing lunch. They're in uniform, guns on their hips, probably talking about anything but work. And that's when Jerad strolls in. He does this weird scout move like he's just there for salad bar vibes, but nah, he walks back out. Moments later, boom, Jerad and Amanda burst back in like they're storming a movie set. Jerad pulls his handgun and bam, shoots Igor Soldo point blank in the head. Then he spins and hits Alyn Beck multiple times, chest, throat, head. It's over before anyone knows what's happening. And here's where it gets theater. They don't just kill them and run. Nope. They cover one officer with a yellow "Don't Tread on Me" Gadsden flag. Yeah, the snake one you see on bumper stickers. Then, for maximum edgelord points, they slap a swastika on him and drop a handwritten note. This is the beginning of the revolution. Like, really? A pizza place? That's your Lexington and Concord? Imagine trying to spark World War III between the salad bar and the cinnamon rolls. People in the restaurant are frozen terrified, while the Millers are literally announcing they've just started a war. And here's the twist. This wasn't even a surprise. Jerad had been ranting online for months about overthrowing the government. Dude was posting YouTube rants, dropping edgy Facebook statuses, and even got kicked out of the Bundy Ranch standoff earlier that year because, wait for it, he was too extreme for the extremists. Let that sink in. The Bundy Ranch crowd, who were literally pointing rifles at federal agents, were like, yeah, you're a bit much, bro. So after Sisai's Pizza turns into their personal revolution cosplay, Jerad and Amanda strut out like they just dropped the hottest mixtape of chaos. They leave two cops dead on the floor and head straight for wait for it Walmart. Because nothing says war against the government like aisle 9 between diapers and discount TVs. They walk in loaded. Guns, ammo, even backpacks with diapers. Yeah, you heard that right. These self-proclaimed revolutionaries packed diapers like they were settling in for a long siege. It's giving Call of Duty roleplay, but with a baby registry. So Jared storms through the sliding doors, yells, "This is a revolution," and fires a shot into the ceiling. Boom, instant panic. Shoppers scatter, carts tip over, kids scream. This is not your average Sunday run for paper towels anymore. And here comes our tragic hero, Joseph Wilcox, 31. Regular guy, just shopping with a friend. He's carrying a concealed Glock, legally, like a lot of Nevadans do. And when he hears gunfire, he doesn't run. He does what most of us wish we'd do. He steps up. Now picture this: Wilcox draws his weapon, moving toward Jerad, brave. But here's the cruel twist: he doesn't see Amanda right behind him. She's playing the quiet backup role, the Bonnie in this doomed Bonnie and Clyde act. While all eyes are on Jerad, Amanda whips her gun and bam, shoots Wilcox in the ribs from behind. He never even gets a chance to fire. The crowd is stunned. One moment you think, oh my god, a hero's gonna stop them, and the next, he's gone. It's brutal. And Amanda, yeah, she's the one who delivered that shot. Later on, people said that was the single most devastating moment because Joseph tried to save strangers, and instead he became their third victim. Meanwhile, the Millers keep up their performance. Gerard's screaming revolution slogans. They're building barricades out of Walmart merchandise like some twisted fort made of camping coolers and shampoo bottles. It's like they thought they were gonna hold the place down for hours. But nah, Vegas cops are already rolling in fast. And here's the kicker. The Millers weren't even professionals. They were chaotic, sloppy, and terrifying in the worst way. They wanted to make a stand against tyranny, but all they did was turn Walmart into a war zone. And now the cops are outside, guns drawn, ready to turn the whole thing into a final act. So inside Walmart, it's pure panic. You've got families hiding behind clothing racks, employees ducking in the break room, and Jerad and Amanda playing army with barricades made out of random store junk. Seriously, imagine thinking you're Che Guevara while crouching behind a stack of discount coolers. The cops roll in. Not just one or two, this is Vegas, baby. SWAT patrol, everyone with a badge shows up. They surround the building, guns aimed, radios popping off like crazy. Boom! Firefight kicks off. Bullets flying, alarms blaring, sprinklers going off. It's like a war movie, except way sloppier and scarier because it's real. Jerad is moving between aisles, trying to return fire. He's screaming about government tyranny like this is his big moment. But here's the thing, Jerad isn't John Wick. He's just a dude with delusions of grandeur. And the cops, they're trained, locked in, and they've got numbers. Within minutes, bam, Jerad goes down. Multiple shots. He's hit hard, bleeding out on the Walmart floor. Now here's where the myth and the reality split. Early reports said Amanda shot Jerad to put him out of his misery, then turned the gun on herself. Sounds dramatic, right? Like some twisted Romeo and Juliet pact. But surveillance later showed nope. Jerad was killed by police gunfire. Amanda never shot him. What she did do is even darker. Once Gerard's lying there done, Amanda grabs her own gun, points it at her head, and pulls the trigger. Boom. Just like that, the so-called revolution ends in aisle 7 between the camping gear and the cleaning supplies. And when it's over, the scene is just haunting. Shoppers frozen in shock. Officers Alyn, Beck, and Igor Soldo are dead. Joseph Wilcox, the brave civilian, is gone. And the Millers? Both lying on the ground, their revolution lasting less than 1 hour before it imploded. Think about that, they showed up with flags, notes, speeches, even diapers, like they were ready to be freedom fighters. But in reality, they collapsed under pressure almost instantly. No uprising, no followers, just terror, chaos, and broken families in the aftermath. So once the gunfire stops and the smoke clears, Las Vegas is left in total shock. 5 people are dead. Officers Alyn Beck and Igor Soldo, Joseph Wilcox, the civilian hero, and of course Jerad and Amanda Miller. The so-called revolution is over before it even started. The next morning, it's everywhere. News vans, headlines, CNN running loops of Walmart parking lot footage, anchors throwing around words like domestic terrorism and anti-government extremists. Boom! The Millers become the latest faces of America's nightmare headline, the radicalized couple who thought they were going to spark a war. And here's the wild part, there were so many warning signs. Jerad had been ranting online for months. His Facebook and YouTube pages, full of anti-government screeds, conspiracy theories, and edgy wannabe rebel posts. He literally begged strangers online to send him a rifle so he could stand against tyranny. Like, dude, maybe order Amazon Prime, but probably don't post your terrorism wish list on Facebook. Then you've got the Bundy Ranch connection. Just 2 months before the Walmart attack, Jerad and Amanda actually showed up at the Bundy Ranch standoff in Nevada. You remember that one, the armed protest against federal agents over cattle grazing rights. Except here's the kicker, even that crowd thought the Millers were too extreme. They straight up kicked them out. Imagine being the ones pointing rifles at feds and saying, yeah, those two are a little much. Police later revealed they had a house full of survivalist junk ammo, gear, propaganda, and a paper trail of red flags a mile long. Neighbors described them as angry, unstable, paranoid. One called Jerad a ticking time bomb. No kidding. And the saddest detail? Amanda was barely 22. Friends said she wasn't even radical at first, just fell under Jerad's influence. The Bonnie to his Clyde. Except instead of robbing banks, they tried to launch a revolution out of a pizza joint and a Walmart. It's tragic because it didn't have to end this way. The city mourned. Vigils were held for the officers and for Joseph Wilcox, the guy who tried to be a hero. His story especially hit hard because he wasn't in uniform, he wasn't trained, he just wanted to do the right thing, and it cost him his life. Here's the thing: Jerad and Amanda Miller weren't masterminds. They weren't tactical geniuses. They weren't even organized. They were chaotic, reckless, and dangerous to everyone around them. And that's exactly why this story still hits hard. They went into that Walmart with guns and diapers like they thought they were prepping for some legendary standoff. But in reality, their so called revolution collapsed in less than an hour. Boom, over, done. All they left behind was blood, grief, and a community full of trauma. Psychologists later pointed out how cases like this show the danger of echo chambers. Jerad was already radical, ranting online, spinning conspiracy theories. Amanda got pulled into his orbit, and together they built this twisted fantasy where they were the heroes of some big uprising. But here's the ugly truth: in the real world, they weren't heroes. They were villains, and their choices destroyed innocent lives. The irony is brutal. They thought they'd be remembered as freedom fighters. Instead, their names are now tied to failure, violence, and wasted potential. They wanted to start a war and ended up as a cautionary tale in aisle 7 of a Walmart. And that last image, it sticks with you. Two self proclaimed revolutionaries lying dead on the floor between camping gear and diapers. Their entire movement ending where it began, in chaos, confusion, and tragedy. It's haunting because it forces you to ask how many other ticking time bombs are out there right now, ranting online, getting ignored until one day, bomb.